If you're a 2021 and newer Bronco owner looking to run a larger 35 or 37-inch spare tire, then you might want to consider this combination of parts from Rough Country, including the relocation mount along with their reinforcement bracket. Now, these two parts will both feature a very thick steel construction along with a textured black powder coat, all for right around the low $200 price point. Now, installation, according to the site, is going to get a strong 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter. They call it 30 minutes. To be honest, guys, I think it's probably going to take you at least double that, but either way, hang with me for a bit and we'll walk you through that job later in the video. So again, both of these parts are designed for the 6th gen Bronco owners out there who have already upgraded their tire size or are thinking about upgrading their tire size to a meaty 35 or 37-inch tire and are struggling to fit that spare tire on the factory rear mount. Now, we do know the stock spare tire carrier can support the larger, almost 35-inch tire of the factory Sasquatch, but once you start getting into some of the meatier aftermarket mud terrain tires, like your 35 1250s or even a 37 1250, interference from not only the tailgate but also the rear bumper starts to become an issue. And that's where the first part comes into play. This is the Rough Country relocation bracket, and when installed, it will essentially move the spare tire away from the tailgate, but also up 2 inches as well to gain enough clearance for those larger, wider spare tires. Now, as the bracket sits now, it will accommodate a larger, wider 35 without issue, but if you did want to run a 37-inch spare tire, you could do that. And that's where the second part comes into play. Now, because of the added weight of a 37-inch tire and wheel combination, in some cases we're looking at over 100 pounds, Rough Country came up with this additional steel mount or reinforcement that is going to live between the tailgate itself and the spare tire mount, and will basically triangulate the mount and hinges, evenly distributing the weight and taking some of the stress off of those factory hinges. Now, both the mount and the reinforcement have been made from a very thick, very durable steel construction and have been given a cool look thanks to the combination of the CNC cut design featuring the Rough Country logos. And you even have this little detail here cut in, which is going to frame that Bronco emblem on the tailgate perfectly. Now, the steel itself is going to be protected from the elements thanks in part to the textured black powder coat. And altogether, the mount and the reinforcement are going to be backed by Rough Country's lifetime warranty. Now, I do want to quickly point out here, guys, that Rough Country states the reinforcement is kind of a non-negotiable if you do want to run a 37-inch spare just due to the added weight. But if you stumbled across this video and you're using a 35 1250 and you're just looking for the relocation bracket by itself, well, we do sell both of these parts individually here on the site as well. So again, if you're just going with a 35 1250, you don't necessarily want to run the reinforcement, well, you can just grab the relocation bracket by itself. And while you're there, also check out the third brake light extension as well. Finally, guys, Rough Country does kick in all of the necessary hardware for both pieces here to get in place. No drilling, no modification needed whatsoever. Speaking of that install, now we want to shift gears and show you what it takes to get both of these installed on your 6th gen Bronco at home. So without further ado, check out our detailed walkthrough and tool breakdown now.
Tools used for this installation: 3/8 drive electric impact gun, 13mm wrench, 3/8 drive ratchet, clip removal tool, a handle tool used for a wedge, flat blade screwdriver, 13mm socket, 6mm Allen head, 3/8 extension, and T45 Torx. Hey guys, I'm going to walk you through the installation of installing our spare tire relocating mount and tailgate guard on our 21 Bronco. It's not a bad install. Let's get started. First thing we're going to do, we got our tailgate open. We're going to remove this access panel right here with our plastic clip tool. We're going to just get in, pop this out of place, and get that out of our way. That's going to give us access to our third brake light and our backup camera wiring harnesses, which are up in this corner right here. Now that we have our black access panel off, we're going to remove these two harnesses here. Just push the clip in. Get that one out of the way. Now we'll do our top one. Pull these two out. Now that we have these disconnected, we're going to push our plastic white clip here so that we can push it through the panel like that. Pull our wiring harness through. Now with our harness pulled through, we're going to remove the 8 13mm bolts that hold on the spare tire mount. I'm going to take my 3/8 impact gun with 13mm socket. Now with the last one in place, I'm going to hold on to it. And that's the removal of our spare tire mount. So now that we have our mount off, what we're going to do is remove these 4 bolts. But before you remove these 4 bolts, what I want to stress here is that we don't want the door to drop or move. So what I did, I took my clip removal tool, wedged it in this gap here. Then I took another screwdriver, it's actually a clip removal tool, and I stuck it and wedged it underneath the bottom. And you push it in, you don't want to like jam it in, but you want to make sure that you feel that it's got some tension on it when I pushed it in. So that's what we did here. So now when we take these 4 bolts off, the doors should not drop and it should stay in place. Now we're going to remove our 4 bolts, our T45 Torx. I'm going to take my time removing them. I'm probably just going to lean on the door just a little bit just to make sure nothing happens. Nice. It didn't drop, it didn't move. The holes are pretty much, yep, still lined up. That's going to allow us an easier install when we put our protector plate on the back. So now we have our 4 Torx out. We're not going to reuse them. They supply you new hardware in the kit. It's an Allen head with a washer. And then there's a bevel washer. It's going to go behind the plate. That's going to sit into this right here, which will go through. I'm going to start everything by hand. It's a good rule of thumb. Don't use a gun, just so you don't strip bolts. So now I have my Allen head with our bevel washer behind. I'm going to install the plate and get it started by hand. Now I'm going to install the second one. Get the bolt through. All right, get started by hand. Now we'll do the bottom ones. So before I tighten these 4 Allen heads down, I'm going to do and align these holes. Might have to use a screwdriver, maybe a punch. They make a hole right in here. I'm going to get in here. This is going to make it so much easier. If you would just bolt these down now and then have this plate off and then try to start reassembling stuff, you wouldn't be able to get the bolts in. You'll be cursing. It'll be a mess. So what we're going to do is I'm going to try to get this top bolt in and move it around until it lines up and starts. And you might have to give it a little bit of a push. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hold this in, push a little bit so that this is free over here, which will allow the other holes to line up, and then I'm going to tighten them. So with my screwdriver still in place, I'm going to make this so I can wiggle this bolt. It turns in and out freely. If you let off of it, it's going to lock it up, which means when you go to try to put this back together, it's going to be tough. So I'm going to hold it there in place, and I'm going to snug these up. Now my bolt's still loose, which is great. It's going to make it easier down the road here. And then you can give them a good tightening. Now once these are all tight, we'll be able to remove our plastic, my screwdriver, and then this plate will be able to mount our secondary part of this installation. Okay, so now we're gonna install our secondary mount. What I'm gonna do is take my 13mm and the 13mm bolts that are supplied in the kit. I'm gonna put them through. I'm gonna start the top just to get it so it holds it in place. And with us doing and making sure that the holes were aligned, made it a lot easier just to run these in. Now I'm gonna finish by installing the rest of them. There are 8 of them. Now I'm going to tighten them up. Now that I got them all tight, now we'll stick our spare tire mount back on, start hooking our wiring up, and we're almost done. Now we're going to install our spare tire mount. There's pins on the back. I'm going to put them in place. And with the hardware that's included in the kit, these bolts with the washer, the locking nut, put it through. I'm gonna get 2 started. That way it'll hold it. Now I'll go around, put the rest of them in place. Now with my 13mm wrench and 13mm socket on my impact gun, I'm gonna snug these all up and then tighten them. Now that they're all tight, we'll install our harness, put our clips back in, put our plastic piece in, and we're done. Now we'll put a harness through. push our plastic clip back in like that. Now we'll go in and hook our connections up. So now we have our connector through. We're going to hook our clips back up. You're just going to hear them click just like that. That one's clicked. So now that our connections are done, we'll reinstall our plastic. Get it in place. And our installation is finished. That wraps up our review and install of our spare tire relocation mount with our tailgate reinforcement bracket for 21 to 22 Broncos. Thanks for watching, and for all things Bronco, keep it right here at extremeterrain.com.